Join the art challenge. Why not, right? Kitty lover, yes, I do have a Discord. Hayden, I haven't seen you in a minute, guy, but that was great timing. You've been lurking? Well, that's good. How do I really feel about Liefeld? Kitty lover, you want to versus me with drawing? Well, okay, good luck, but I ain't doing any of that stupid shit, so I've got actual comics to make rather than to sit around and have a dick measuring contest with people who show up and want to prove themselves. Maybe you are better. Good for you. That's awesome. Go make your comics or make your art or make your audience or do whatever. Go live your best life. Bring out everyone's competitiveness. That's a lot of things to be watching there. Danny Curtis. Excuse me. It wasn't a big gig by any means, man. I've never been to any comic conventions besides the local ones. And that was way before the local ones even started. Just met him online. I actually don't exactly remember how our interactions kind of first started. Honestly, it's been so long ago. I just don't even remember like how our first interactions kind of come up. But the guy was kind of taking anybody that would draw anything. He just wanted to make the comics, and unfortunately, he kind of didn't care if they looked like shit. He just wanted to have them made. But, you know, I was like, well, this is an opportunity for me to see my work in color and in print and just practice. So that's kind of how that whole thing was. Yeah, I need to have everyone staring right at us. See, like this shot, it's a close up of the. So this page is It's a continuation of a previous page. This is a girl here, and she's walking out of the bathroom into her bedroom, and this character is surprising her by standing in her room in the doorway. And then this is a close-up of his face, and then we have a side shot of them kind of facing each other talking, and then a shot of the girl's face down here. If this was Liefeld, he would have them turned looking straight at you, but this one he's turned looking, you know, not at us, but at an angle, but still towards her in that direction. All my variant cover slots are taken up. I'm just waiting on Chuck to finish the inks, and then I'm gonna start putting the thing together for real. Saboteur, what's up? I've got layouts. I got them right here. I do the layouts beforehand. I don't figure it out on the page, at least not from scratch. So yeah, there's your basic thumbnail. But Saboteur, how's it going? Nothing satisfies body or soul. Well, I am death, none can excel. I am the door to heaven or hell.
Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video.
Urine Protector Quantum, 1 injection at your vet, protects against fleas and ticks for 365 days.
Caution and dogs.
You just started getting into Department of Truth. I've never heard of that. It's something new. I've probably not heard of it because there's not many new comics I get anymore. Thanks for stopping in, Saboteur. Thanks for jumping in for a minute. Hope you're doing well, man. You watched me and my brother review on Liefeld. Well, him and I have done a couple of them. The most popular and embarrassing one is the one we were both drunk off our asses, like drunk as hell. That one was fun. Yeah, when we're talking about a Liefeld book, there's too many things to point out everything that there's always invariably going to be something that gets missed. Ice cream cat. What's going on?
The next big thing in restaurants is retail. The restaurant POS you love.
Have I ever met Liefeld? Is that what you're asking? No.
Boost revenue, start selling today. Don't just retail. A POS for so much more than selling. Walk on the rain, living on a small rock. Don't you know that I'm still out on the road, late last night, sweetie
Maria I can't say the whole name. Maria. Hello.
And if you give me weed, water, and show me a sign, I'll be willing to be moving.
Sheldon, this is like 7 or 8, something like that.
And I smoke and smoke and smoke back to the
Mellow. Oh. All right, Danny, thanks for stopping in. Thanks, Sheldon. So I'm digging through my stuff here. What the hell? I am so disorganized, guys. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the guy's gooder than me. As far as pages, most of these aren't completely done, but I'm trying to organize them into kind of an order. Let's see. I've actually got a couple of pages I may not use. Like I drew this whole page and I don't think I'm even going to use it. Mainly because I don't know. I'll decide. I don't think I like this panel of this guy. I think it kind of sucks. I don't know. We'll see. And then kind of pointless for this one. I don't know. I may or may not use both these pages. But let's just assume that I do. To give you a preview of the book. Unless something changed, and believe me, something could change right up until the point where I actually put the whole thing together. This is probably page 1. This is the character in the book who got his head cut off, his arms cut off, and a sword stabbed through his dick. Kill snap. And this is him getting put back together. And it's an homage to a Sam Keith drawn Weapon X page. So this will be how the book starts. And then it's going to go to how the character is being put back together. He's been giving cybernetic arms. He gets his head reattached. He's kind of put back together. But now, instead of in the previous book, he had blades that he just strapped to one arm. But now they're all inside his hands. He's got rip claw type fingers. He's got Wolverine claws. He's got spikes that come out of his forearm and his elbows. He's just got pointy shit all over. So that would be roughly about page 2. This would be page 3, showing the character War Whore being put together. She's this burn victim. She's missing arms and legs and everything. But in this container, they give her this liquid metal that kind of forms over her body and gives her that shiny metallic look that I've been drawing this character with for forever, to kind of show how she gets put together. So that's that one. And then I'm trying to decide if I want to, because then we cut to this page where there's Kill Snap, there's War Whore, and then 2 other characters. And I'm trying to decide if I want to have some kind of introductory pages for them, or I'm just going to throw them in there because they're kind of like secondary background parts of this little 4-man team, and we'll kind of figure out who they are later. But then they're getting together. They've got a mission they're going on. They don't kind of trust him to be the leader because he's a big dumb idiot, and he's kind of giving him shit for that. And so they're kind of talking back and forth like, all right, we've been assigned to you. You're our leader, so let's see how this goes. And so he kind of gets in her face and tells her to shut up because he's in charge, because he's a big dumb idiot. Then they go through the teleportation portal because they're on a mission. They're out specifically to go get this girl from the first comic that showed up for just a little bit. So they go through a teleportation portal, and these panels here, I'm going to have a big text that tells you their names. It's going to be Kill Snap, War Whore, Laser Fag, and Tumor. So this is where we get to hear their names as they go through the portal. Then we cut to Space Shot Earth. I haven't finished this panel. This is the main guy, Commander Max. He's in his space platform, checking out his computers, finding out that he understands that there's big important things about to happen, and he's got to act. So he's kind of put together his mission, and so we get the scene where he's going to get his new outfit on. He's not going to look like a Cable clone in this the second issue. So this shows him changing out his eye goggles into a Cyclops type visor, and he gets all this kind of new suit zapped onto him, kind of forming over him like nanotechnology. And then you get the big cool shot of him put together, up to and including the dick-looking headgear, which I point out in the Liefeld comics all the time. Then we cut to Earth, a cityscape, an individual building, and the girl in question. Of course, we're going to have the unnecessary, gratuitous girl in a shower shot. This is another thing that I'm leaning into. I've talked about it on my channel. Every time they show a girl in the shower, she's always covered with steam, so you don't see the adult parts. Well, this is a Rob Norton comic, so we're going to see it. And she's kind of lost in thought, looking at herself in the mirror because she got a scar over her eye from the battle in issue 1. And then that comes to the page we're on now, where she comes out of the shower. There's Commander Max. He's just kind of showed up, and he's like, hey, you don't know it, but you're actually in extreme danger. You got people after you, and we got to get out of here right now. And so there's going to be a look of shock on her face. So that's kind of the beginning of the story, picking up story threads from issue 1 and jumping off into new stuff with all the characters. Everyone that was in book 1 is going to be here except the guy who got his dick cut off. He's kind of done. Me and my dickless comic characters. He might show up by the end. Anyway, there's a brief preview of Rob's book as it's being put together right now. Trade for Investment says that's so cool, better than Rob Liefeld human work. Sheldon, fantastic work. It's definitely got me wondering what happens next. Well, all these characters, the four guys over there, are going to come along because they're after her, and he's protecting her from them. But then there's also a character that's going to show up. This is a stupid character that see I'm integrating as weird and or funny as this may sound. Ideas that I talk about as I review comics, I want to throw them in there. Thus, like the shot with the girl in the shower and she's always covered. I talked about that. The character with the headgear that looks like big robotic dicks. I'm doing that. Um, there was an issue where I was talking about when one of Liefeld's books where he did this scene where there's a bunch of ninjas attacking, but they look like they were little tiny guys and super giant guys. So I am adding that in on the soon to be coming up page, observing in secret as well. There's going to be a city shot. There's going to be a ninja up here, and then a close up on his face. He's coming after Commander Max specifically. He's what we call the Norseman. And I've talked about this. It's a stupid idea that I've come up with because, again, there's humor in the book. He's a ninja, but Norseman is a Viking terminology. But Norse is an acronym that stands for Ninjas of Ridiculous Size Everywhere, because he's able to like magically create clones of himself, and some of them are going to be like 1 foot tall, and some of them are going to be 50-foot tall. And so now they have to fight this swarm of microscopic ninjas and giant skyscraper-sized ninjas. It's going to be ridiculous. Like the ninja's going to have a throwing star, and he's going to throw it. It's going to be the size of like a fucking tire, like just huge, crashing into the ground. It's going to be just ridiculous. Hey, Addie, you watched Monster Squad? A rudimentary shaped robot sentry? Well, there's future issues. It does sound insane, Addie. It is a little bit Looney Tunes. Giant ninjas and tiny ninjas. And it's just all for the sheer, like, let's just go crazy and have some kind of ridiculous fun with this. Just to have kind of like the funnest, craziest imagery to draw. See, I have no pretensions of trying to write something serious. That's kind of my problem with a lot of the early Image comics, especially, for example, like the Wildstorm stuff. They tried to write it so deadly serious, like it's so completely important and crazy how deadly serious this situation is. And those writers just weren't up to the task. So it just came across as boring. But I want to kind of do the same kind of ridiculous scenarios, but we're going to have fun with it and just kind of go crazy. Of course, I say I'm not really that good at writing serious stories, but my entire He-Man fan fiction is all deadly serious. But I've kind of had a connection to that I feel like at least kind of worked. Oh, pardon my hiccup. But yeah, Addie, Monster Squad is great. And you get the chance to watch it in full, sound on and everything. It's a great, underrated kind of 80s gem. That's kind of what it is, Eddie, because at first the guys are not going to take the little ninjas seriously because their swords are only going to be like this long, but they're going to be throwing dozens upon dozens of little tiny microscopic throwing stars and knives and trying to stab them in the eyeball, and they're kind of just distractions for the giant ones to show up. It's completely ridiculous. But as I've said, that is the point of my stupid book. It's just like, we're going to have fun. Let's do this. That's the equivalent of, would you rather face one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Yeah, it's a great thing about comics. It can just be whatever you want it to be. That's right. You can just make the stuff, right? Fabiasa says, why? Why what? Why ask why? That's not what I want. In Rob's case, why not both? You are right. Will they be jumping? At some point, I'm going to have to throw in some crotch shots because just like Liefeld does, how can we not, right? Oh, Latique, what is up, man? What is up? Thanks, dude. You're way more generous than I deserve. Um, I've got those books I need to send out for you, Latique. I got that Last Blood, and I finally was able to dig up wherever I hid those Portasio, whatever the hell they were called, the Legion of Night. I've got those, so I'm gonna get those out to you. Latique Curry is the man with the plan. He's the one that got me that copy of Dork and that copy of Inglorious X Force. I just did the reviews on. He got me the hookup on that. Thank you for stopping in, Addie. When you get a chance, watch that Monster Squad. Like with the sound up. I don't think you'll be disappointed. The only thing disappointing around here is me. Don't let the tiny ninjas bite, right? Yeah, those were fun, Latique. I appreciate it. Those are things I never would have seen because I've never even heard of them. You know? I watched a clip. For those of you who know who that artist, James Edward Clark, I've kind of showcased two of his books. He's got that Florida Cocaine Hippo Massacre book. Yeah, I think I've got the title right, but I might have the words mixed up. But even Liefeld was talking about it on his YouTube show. Like the guy he was interviewing brought it up. So that's pretty awesome. I don't know if you guys saw that. Dracula being a problematic, hear me out and all. I know, Addie. All right, we'll catch you later. Florida Hippo or Hippo Man. Yeah, I saw James Clark kind of clip the bit of it, and I just watched that part of it. He's like the cocaine hippo comic or something like that. That's funny, you know. It's good to see. I like seeing independent artists get their work recognized and then shouted out by others. That's really awesome. And you know, they brought it up on Liefeld show, and you know, I know I talk a lot of shit, but Liefeld shouts out the comic medium, and that's not nothing. Like he's always an advocate for it, and that's the thing I give him respect for. He's shouting out the joy of comics, and that's something everyone should do. Midwest Conjureman. It's a interesting name. I have this whole box of Prismacolor Kohl Erase Blue because it's an erasable colored pencil. It's like my go-to pencil for the first pass at layouts on a rough page before I light box it into final pencils. If they did, Sheldon, I've never heard about it because I order them from Amazon. That's where I got these from. Unless it's happened in the last year or something like that, and I just haven't ordered more. Because last time I ordered them, I ordered 4 boxes of. I don't even remember how many come. It's either 10 or 12. But Mr. Mello, he's bought them up. Yeah, it's a box of 12. Montoya, what's up? Latik, you was set up at Casa Grande Comic Con this weekend. It was a good show. You need to get me out here for this one. One of these days. Yeah, I don't know. I hope they haven't stopped making them because once I run out of my current batch, I'm going to be really disheartened if I can't get them anymore. Thanks, Midwest Conjure Man. See, Latik, I don't even have a copy of Leaf #1. I wasn't involved with them by issue 1. I was only involved with them as they got their books going. And I only ever did the covers. I did actually, in fact, draw an entire like 20-page comic for them. And they suddenly decided that they were printing their books, and then that one never saw print. And I was actually pissed because I was working on my He-Man fan comic at the time. So this is around 2012, 2013, and I stopped making that to focus on getting to draw this entire comic for them. And then it just never saw print. And then later on, they went back to print. So I don't know what the hell happened. But yeah, I've only got those few issues right there that I kind of picked up on my own, just so I could have copies of books that I did the covers for, such as they were. But yeah, Byron, yeah, that clown. That's funny because that's like the second time this month I've had some loudmouth. Anyway, whatever the hell I was saying. It's the second time I had some loudmouth hit me up and tell me that I suck and that I should challenge them to an art drawing contest. I'm like, no, I ain't doing that stupid shit. Because things like that, with people like that, it doesn't matter how good I may do, they will never concede defeat. Never in a million years. So there's, assuming I was even better than them, they would never admit defeat. They just say that my shit sucks and it's childish. So there's no winning that. So there's no reason to even like go forward with it. But the one today, I can't find his art anywhere. I tried looking him up. He had L.A. Keith um, comic guy art. His channel doesn't have anything. And I tried a Google search. I couldn't find anything Instagram. So I'm like, all right, well. But he hit me up again or, left another comment. He's like, aha, you didn't want to take the challenge. You're just a pussy. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. If you say so. Yeah, someone saying you were trying to look it up. Yeah, there's nothing there. But a guy saying that he could draw better than Liefeld when this guy was in high school. All right, sure. But then he's like, I'm going to challenge you. Hank Henshaw, see who draws a concrete screw gun the best, right? I'll let Liefeld win that one. No one draws futuristic laser guns looking like they're made of mortar and sand and gravel better than him, with Phillips head screws in them that are this big around and cracking the gun. Yeah, how about that? That would be a better challenge, Sheldon. There you go. I'll just tell the guy, hey, you got a comic? Do a video and do a flip through of it and show us your work. And then I'll do a flip through of my 6 volumes of the He-Man fan comic. And then we can put it out there to people to be like, which one would you rather read? And just because there is no I in team, and this is a team effort, and it took all of us to work hard to win this, and 110%, and then just gotta give 110%, let chips fall where they may. Sheldon, you knew that quote. I was wondering if somebody would know that one. I typed that out as like our motto for the department that I work in, and I've got it pinned up on the wall next to our desk. And my friend that works with me, she'd never seen it or heard it, so she didn't get the context, but it's pretty dang funny to me. Byron. That's funny. Just like all the girls have been in ignoring him his entire life. I know, Adam. That's the thing. I would love to see the guy's work. Because the one that I posted the other day, the guy who was barking up a storm at me, he did post some artwork. He was saying that he's already made $500,000 this year. I'm like, uh-huh, sure. And he put up some artwork, and it was pretty fucking bad. And he was just like going on about how he's so much better than me. And again, I'm not over here saying I'm great. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. All I did was criticize that whole argument for the first guy started over on the some page where Mario Gully is there shouting out his amazing work, and I made a kind of a snide comment. These dudes came to his rescue by like, "What the fuck, man? Why don't you show your work? What you got?" And this other guy was literally like, "Challenge me to an art contest. You're too chicken shit, bro. You won't do it, bro. You're chicken shit, bro." And then it's funny, the same thing happened just today with that other guy. He's like, "Your shit's garbage, man. Let's do a challenge, bro. What you got, bro? Why don't you respect me, bro?" Yeah, I'd love to see this current guy's work, but nowhere to be seen. So he can sit there and talk all the shit that he wants. As long as he doesn't have to show it to anybody, then he can sit there and tell us all how amazing he is. I'm like, yeah, you betcha.
Getting behind the wheel of your new ride is the best feeling. What if the whole car buying experience was the same? That's what happens with
No, Sheldon, I have not even looked that type of stuff up yet. You've done it. There's some pointers I'm going to need to know. I'm sure anything because will be helpful because I've never done it. I figured that I'll be able to figure out the basics when the time comes. Um, my younger brother did one or two before. Well, thanks, Byron. I mean, I appreciate it. You know, I can sort of do backgrounds. I just haven't been doing a lot of stuff recently because I haven't been drawing sequential pages. It requires a lot of them, but I do gotta put them in here. So I'm doing my best to have them as accurate as I could make them. Yeah, that's a part that I'm not sure about, Byron, because like you talk about uploading the graphics. Like I don't really have an ability to kind of do that beyond photos of the art or screenshots of what I'm working on. I don't know how to do any of that. I don't have the technology or the knowledge. So I was going to look and see what needs to be done. And then I've got a friend who kind of knows how to do that stuff. I might be able to get some help from him. Yeah, and I get it. Yeah, set up the individual reward tiers. Yeah, I know about all that. I mean, I've gotten Kickstarters before, so I understand there's those multiple levels. So I'm gonna have to break that down into what I actually want, or I'm gonna have. I'm kind of leaning towards. I think I've said this before that I'm not gonna have a bunch of extra tchotchke shit. You're not gonna have any stickers or bookmarks or magnets or coasters from me. Um, yeah, I'm just kind of keeping it basic. It's just going to be the comic, and then two, maybe three variant covers. And then I think I'm going to have a tier where I offer commission, like two or three commission spots. And then I'm going to talk to Chuck and see if he's interested for a high enough dollar amount. If someone's willing to pay for it, I was thinking of offering, like, I will pencil some kind of drawing and then mail it to Chuck and let him ink it. So you can have the original penciled and inked by Chuck Gibson original art. I haven't ran this idea by him yet, so we'll see if he's interested. It's kind of only interesting if he wants to ink it because it's from Chuck. Like, people don't give a shit about me per se, but Chuck is kind of the name that's worked in the industry, and so I think it would be kind of fun. So we'll see. Um, and then I keep thinking about like offering up pages of original art from the comic. Um, but I'm kind of struggling. Like I don't like to give that shit away. I want to keep it. Mike McMahon is one of those variant covers. Speak of the devil. I've got another one that's actually already in the can, but the guy kind of is a little bit squeamish about having his name attached to a book that has adult content in it, which I get. Because I asked him if I could use the one that he did for me. Like, can I use it as a variant cover? He's like, please. And then I was like a couple of days later, I was like, I don't know if you know what's in my book, so maybe I better tell you. So he's like, yeah, I kind of don't like to have my name attached. He's like, graphic violence, great. Graphic sex, I'm a little squeamish on. But then I explained to him what was going on in the book, and he's like, that's actually really funny. He's like, let me think about it. I'm like, all right, no problem. Yeah, Byron, did someone say adult content? Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of pages in my book that it gets very. It's not even valid to say R-rated. I'm talking like it's like practically X-rated. It's some graphic sex stuff, but it's also played for the humor. You don't have a graphic sex scene where a guy stuffs a grenade up inside a girl and then kicks her and blows her body in half. Like, come on, that and not have it be funny, or someone having a severed superhero cock that still functions, and they decide to do things with it. I'm not proud of the things that I've done, but I did do them. And you know what? Hell with that. I am proud of the things I've done. I'm like, I'm going to go out of my way to make this ridiculous, stupid, freaking over the top comic. I'm going to do it. I mean, you should see that page. Well, yeah, but it's not just, I'm not just putting it in there just because, um, you know, adults do this type of stuff. Um, I have this funny idea. At least it's funny in my head. Trying to see if I know Chuck when he was inking it, he was like, "Man, I've never inked anything like this shit, Rob, in my entire career. This is definitely a first." And so, kind of have a chuckle at that. Um, Let me see if I could scroll. Scroll. God, I look at the art that Chuck and I have shared back and forth. I'm like, God, I forget about all this cool stuff. This is going way back. Not in there. God, he might have only shared it with me on email. I know this is fascinating live stream where I'm sitting here scrolling through my phone looking for a thing. Yeah, I hit a home run when I got Chuck to ink my stuff. Yeah, you are not joking. Yeah, Meg. There's definitely some of that. Because I'm a child and a dude. Okay, so. For like 16, 17. There's this very elaborate shot. I love this. Where Chuck inked the dick in a jar. I mean, look at the time and effort he put into that freaking jar. I mean, come on. He's like, Rob, I spent a lot of time on that one. I'm like, I know. Oh my God, it's hilarious to look at. And then they're pulling it out of the jar. Oh man, he's just like, Rob, I'm telling you, dude. I'm like, I know. There is Paige. This might be it. All right. Kids, avert your eyes. Addie's not here, right? Like, here's the page where the girls are playing with the severed part, doing things with it. And the expressions of the guy who's it's connected to him and it still functions and he can still feel it. So he's off trying to have a battle with these expressions on his face as they do things with the severed. Oh, this page. Even I was laughing at myself when I drew this. Oh, there's your adult content. Anyway, I should be ashamed of myself. Eric Bonifield, my God, this is awesome. That's the kind of book that I'll be putting out. And again, Chuck's real close. I know I keep saying that. He's had some things go on that kind of had him pause, but he's still cranking away hard, and everything's looking awesome. So, no worries there. Them girls need to go to church. Well, if it's any consolation, neither one of them make it out alive. Because they are the villains, and it is set up by Liefeld's original story that I'm just doing a rip-off parody of, so I'm just following the foundation that he put down. Liefeld would be proud. I hope so. That's what that guy's art from Superbad would look like if he went into comics, right? He's like, I was just drawing this big veiny monstrosity. This big triumphant, veiny, triumphant. That stuff was hilarious. It's like, I like to draw dicks, okay? It would be funny if somehow a copy of this thing made its way into the hands of Liefeld. Like just somehow. I don't know how. But that would just and what would he think of it? Because in the book, there's like I've said before, there's nothing in there shitting on the guy. I'm just taking that idea and just doing a parody continuation of it. Like, what do you want, dude? Eric, I fell down a dick drawing rabbit hole after that. Well, Byron, I'm one of those dumb fucks that gives him money for that stuff. People are like, why do you buy this? I'm like, because it's content for the channel. And I am legitimately interested to see the shit that he makes. I am pissed that I pay the amount of money that I do for his stuff because I buy it from his website preemptively. But to be fair, the ad revenue on all those Youngblood books pays me back plus some. So it's not a complete loss, you know? Like I've made about 40 bucks in ad revenue off of that last Youngblood #4. I paid like $30 for it. Just go to a convention that he will be at and say, Liefeld, if you like Dork, you're gonna love this. I should just hand it to him and pretend like it's not mine. Like, hey, I saw this. This guy, this clown, he did like a parody sequel to that issue that you did. It's pretty funny. You should check it out. Just give it to him and then run off. Only later will he discover that I was the one. The guy who made it is the guy who gave it to him. Gingerberry, you're about to get banned from Liefeld's Instagram. What'd you say? What'd you say? I'd love for him to be forced to sit and read the whole thing, right?
And more.
Could you just imagine like he actually shows it on his channel? He's like, today on today's Robservations, we're gonna look at this idiot asshole that did this whole book. Oh, Ginger, you're gonna get banned on Instagram. Oh, that'll do it. He doesn't like hearing anybody having a dissenting voice of any type. Not in the slightest. Even if you're like respectful, it's like, this AI stuff is kind of, it's kind of not awesome, my dude. And you're like, fuck you. Shut your mouth. You're banned. Yeah, it's kind of what I thought. Jeez, he says a lot of people commenting that AI sucks. And he's like, well, Disney's one of the biggest investors in AI. So what are you going to do about it? Wow. It's like he's intentionally feeding the monster that's going to kill the industry that he loves. It may not. I'm actually not so disheartened that AI will kill comics. Poor work will kill comics. But I think the AI is going to kind of keep growing up and blowing up, and then it'll eventually kind of die out. I don't think he's saying, Sheldon. I don't think he's saying that AI posts AI art, passing it off as his own. I think he's just seeing stuff that he likes and then shares it. And I got to be honest, I've seen AI stuff that's made me laugh, um, or is kind of interesting to see. If just being real, like it's crazy, it's insane how good it can be, and there's stuff that's like, wow, that's pretty interesting actually. And it kind of makes you wonder what the future is going to be if you could just make this shit, type it on in a computer, and it just shits it out. Um, but I won't deny that I haven't been like giggling at some of these funnier things, like the humor stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's funny. It made me laugh. Like it's even crossed my mind, and I haven't done it, and I don't think I ever will. But I'm like, I could type into a thing and watch my versions of like the He-Man characters move and come to life. I could, in theory, recreate a scene from my fan comic, and that just kind of like, oh, that would be kind of cool. But then I also understand like it's also not cool. So I get the appeal that some people have. I get it, but it's also really disheartening for actual creative people to just watch others who can't do shit and then get out there and get recognition and potential like ad revenue and start making money because they just sit down at a computer and type things in. That chaps my ass. When you got other people sitting down working hard, cranking out pages or whatever, getting nowhere. That's the part that really boils my piss. Ginger, for sure we could see it and get a giggle, but if had millions of followers, I'm not going to share or mock this stuff that's made by plagiarizing colleagues, but typical rich guy rules for me. Yeah, I get you. Um, it's not going to wipe out the comic industry, but it's put a lot of people out of work, some of them by using AI uh, in their own style. Yeah. I was watching a video earlier today where a guy, he's this artist and he focuses on doing hyper photorealistic art, and he was denied the ability to go to a like an art show because they accused him of using AI in his work because it's so realistic. And he's like, "No, I do this all the time. I draw this by hand." Like, what are you talking about? So, like, AI stuff is already kind of costing that guy some of his livelihood. Gayton says, fairly certain there was a judicial decision. made on AI stating that it can't be copyrighted, so anyone putting anything out with it wouldn't be able to own the work. Claire, what's up, my dude? How you doing, man? Adventures with Claire. Boils my piss, the smell. Yeah, the guy that draws really hyper realistic art. Now he has to prove himself. Ginger, I've reviewed the first issue of Absolute Batman. I've got a collection, and I actually haven't got into the rest of it. I probably should because it's so popular, but I did review the first issue of Absolute Batman. And it was pretty good. Again, only reading the first issue. I wasn't quite sure of the hype because while I appreciate the difference of the character, it's still just a Batman story. Here's Bruce Wayne, vengeance, crime in the city. He's on a mission. It's just kind of restructuring the Batman story. And it's kind of fine, but I wasn't blown away. But again, to be fair, I've only read issue 1. You know what, Ginger Bear? I've been recently instructed. I have to go into my phone. I wish I could show you, but there's a setting you have to push on your phone to switch it from top messages to all messages. I think there's like 3 buttons or something like that where you can filter that and change it because it just defaults to top messages and it filters out some stuff. But if you switch it to all messages, you'll get everything. But yeah, I actually need to get back to that Absolute Batman. I need to actually finish reading the collection that I got. And see if I'm digging. Because again, I understand. I've only read 1 issue. And it was a good setup. Like, I enjoy it. But it doesn't... I was like, all right, I mean, okay. But, you know, as with most comics and stories, you have to get, you know... You got to get rolling and get the story going. So, yeah, Ginger Bear, it's dumb. It's the default setting. I had to have one of the viewers of my channel here pointed that out. And I had no idea. Me and Jessica were both kind of like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And then we see it, and it just defaults to top chat, not all. And so you're like, oh, now you have to change it every time to make sure you see everything. Because I wouldn't, well, with the exception of one human being, I wouldn't ignore anybody, generally speaking. But I've had some people be like, yeah, I thought you were ignoring me because you didn't respond to what I said. I'm like, I didn't see anything, you know. Ginger Bear. Well, hello, everyone. But yeah, there was a guy that just showed up. I don't know. He may not still be here, but he's one of my former direct supervisors from my job and one of my favorite people on the planet. So he stopped in to say hi.
When Smith's Pharmacy is on your side, our pharmacists help you find lower prices by accepting most discount cards and prescriptions. That's convenience that works for everyone.
No, I haven't got that. I kind of meant to hit up James because he sent me several copies of his books before, and I think he said he was going to try and get me a copy, but I don't want to be kind of presumptuous and hit him up and be like, hey, motherfucker, where's my copy of your book for free? you know, considering it seems like it's kind of doing really well for him. All right, Gaten, thanks for stopping in, my dude. I know you said you're usually lurking, but I haven't chatted you for a minute, so good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I just based on the title alone, Florida Cocaine Hippo Massacre, whatever the hell it exactly is. It's freaking hilarious. Go heat up some din din, Ginger. Your local shop guy, everyone keeps asking me about this, but I only got the one you ordered. Well, hopefully it just starts generating word of mouth for James, and then he sells out and gets making. I just all I want to hear is that somebody suddenly starts making a lot of money doing their comic. Like that's all I want to hear. Like hell yeah, go make your nut. Inspire the rest of us to keep going because it's possible. If somebody from Canada can do it, we can all do it. We have tested this on the Canadians and determined it's suitable for human consumption. Byron, you want to send me some of your comic art and get my professional opinion on it? I mean, let's just clarify one thing. This guy is not a professional anything. I just have opinions that may or may not be valid. So, grain of salt with everything. Surprised Sheldon didn't message me and tell me to go fuck myself when I was talking about his book. He's like, God damn it, man. I get it. You thought the lettering needed some work, dude. I'm going to tell Mitch you said that. If some guy from Canada can do it, he'll probably like, oh, yeah. Yeah, Byron, if you want, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to tell you no. I should warn you, and Sheldon can attest to this. I tend to not get to things immediately. I think Sheldon sent me that stuff of his back in December, and I just barely did it. Adam, you love when I review indie comics. I like it too. It has developed a little bit of a, not because anybody said anything to me, but a little bit of like a nerve wracking, like, what if I get something and I can't find anything positive to say about it? Like, what if it's that bad, you know? And there's only been one that I've done that I'm like, this one I was really, really struggling to find something positive to say about it because it was just so, the guy who made it super nice and super dedicated, but I'm like, this is rough. I can't talk about it without pointing out, like, there's some stuff here that's like really rough. How do I, it was that ridiculous comic with like the walking rotting apple and the Shakespeare. There were some interesting ideas, but it was just kind of put together so kind of like, oh, this is hard. So if it becomes a critique rather than a celebration of a guy's work, I start to feel bad. I'm like, did somebody send me some shit to have me tell them why it's not that good? I think even Mitch has said that he um, kind of leans away from doing that type of stuff for that reason. He's like, I don't want to review somebody's book because what if it's terrible? Then what do I do?
Replace your filter at least every 3 months with a bust-and-flag VNX treatment.
Byron, no worries when I check it out. I know you're the hardest working man in the comics industry besides Rob Liefeld. The Adam Brooks and Liefeld Comics. Jason Fajardo, how's it going? Just dropped by in to say hi. It's always a joy to see your creations from start to finish. Well, thank you. Jerry Gaines, what's up? Adam, yeah, you're in a tough spot. Your criticisms are pretty darn articulate. Well, I mean, I definitely would like to think that if I'm giving criticisms, I'm giving a constructive criticism that a person can take it or leave it, but consider this kind of thing. And a person can kind of debate whether or not my thought is the right way to go, because it's a comic book. It can kind of go all kinds of directions, but there are some basic fundamentals that apply to everybody, like clarity of storytelling. Like, we have to be introduced to characters. We need to see who they are first and where they're at, roughly speaking, before we send them off into adventure in a rocket up to the moon or something like that. It's like, I don't know who these people are or where we're at or what's going on, or if the art's so hard to decipher, you're like, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm looking at. Jerry Gaines, sir, I had to put up with it, idiot. Yeah, if you're talking about that guy that was telling me that he's better than me, and he might be, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but he's saying he was better than Liefeld when he was in high school. So that immediately makes me go, sure. Because anybody who can really draw typically is kind of humble, They might see somebody else's work and go, yeah, I'm better than them. But an artist usually understands the struggle and is just kind of like, hey, good work, man. Keep working at it, That's most artists with any kind of like self-awareness and brain in their head. So anybody who just jumps on like, fuck you, I'm better than you, I'm better than that, I'm like, yeah, not worried about it. But like I said, anybody who's really good And if they see somebody who's not, they tend to be like, good job, keep working at it. I like to see you working at it, and we're all trying to do our best, but you don't get on there and just be like, you fucking suck, dude. It's like, you instantly, you're just like, yep, I sure do. Like if that loudmouth guy that was barking up a tree at me, if he was legitimately better, then I'd be like, "You are a great artist. Awesome. You can draw. It's a shame that you've got a shitty attitude, but you can draw." But he got nothing anywhere to show anywhere, so don't care. Excuse me. Eric, I am terrible. Wink, wink. Trolls. Maybe that should be the next big comic. A bunch of short stories of trolls on the net getting called out on their BS. But for those people out there that don't like me, I'm the troll. You're just a troll. You're just online talking shit about comics, dude. You ain't shit. You're just jealous. Okay, sure. I'm a troll. I try to balance out my criticisms with like, this is why this doesn't make sense, and then I ask people like, what? How, argue against the point that I made, especially when it's a Liefeld thing. Like, where are they? Who is this person? What is going on? Like, argue the point, and no one can outside of it's just awesome. You need to just chill out. I'm like, okay, well, there you go. That shit that happened at the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. How many people want to kick some ass? Bomb bump, bomb bump. We're gonna fuck your mothers while you watch and cry like a bunch of whiny bitches. You are the ball lickers. clown shoes, right? We're talking about fictional characters. Am I getting through to you guys? They're not talking about you now. You know what? This makes me think of some. I don't care what anybody says. I like Ben Affleck. I like the guy. If you heard his commentary on the Armageddon movie, he's kind of shitting on the Michael Bay's insanity. That shit right there made me love him forever. Yep, Sheldon knows the line. He's good at being self-depreciating. He was the bomb in Phantoms. Yeah. And like I like him kind of behind the scenes when you see some movies with like the behind the scenes with him and Matt Damon in Jay and Silent Bob, where they're doing like that parody sequel to Good Will Hunting. And him and Matt Damon are just cracking up and they cannot keep a straight face. Or the kind of like the behind the scene makings of Daredevil when he's working with Jennifer Garner. There's some really funny behind the scenes stuff. Uh, yeah, I kind of dig the guy for as much as I can for somebody I haven't met. And no one's perfect, but applesauce, bitch. I don't know, Will. What are we gonna do? They just lose their shit. I just love seeing guys laughing. Like you're working with your best bud, you're having a good time. None of it is serious. It's hunting season. Applesauce. How do you like them apples? Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back is one of those movies where it was one of the funnest times I had at a movie because everyone was just laughing and it was just a hilarious time. It was good times for everybody. I even like the scenes when they get on the movie set and they run into Jason Biggs and the unfortunately late Vanderbeek who were playing Jay and Silent Bob. Those guys were funny. Yeah, what did I tell you? You'd be back in here talking about Vickus, but you forgot about Gordon Wood. He's like, well, actually, I'm all caught up on. I'm reading shit you haven't even heard of. Damn, Sheldon knows all the dialogue. I know it when I hear it, but I don't know that I could repeat that one from memory. You hate Jeremy Renner? That's I've never had a reason to dislike the guy that I'm aware of. Kevin's new book, Bizarro Year None. I have to say, my normal thing, never heard of it. I could kind of piece it together. Kevin Smith, Bizarro. But no clue that that was even a thing. Tony Slopster Snaps. That's a funny name. This is working on the second issue of my comic called Excessive Force and the Tech Base Raiders. It's a parody action adventure adult comic book that's a throwback to 90s awesomeness. You were watching a Blood Force stream? Yeah, Mitch is great. He's a badass. He's really good. He's showing people how it's done. Yeah, the stuff he does is really, really good. Well, this character is a Cable homage type character. And so that's why he's wearing Cyclops' type goggles, because Cable is Cyclops' son. And he's just got these techno headgear things sticking up from the sides of his head that look like big robot dicks. You want to see what the character actually looks like? Old Man Scott. There's an idea. There's what the character looks like. What do you mean you thought Mitch wrote a lot of stuff? Like, do you think that, or you thought that he wrote a lot of other comics, or what do you mean by that? Thanks, Jason. Oh, I get what you're saying, Sheldon. I understand what you're saying, and I agree. Having read the first 4 issues of Blood Force, and obviously I did my review of the first 2, Mitch has an incredibly natural ability in terms of visual storytelling, character language, and body language. Because for a guy who's basically doing his first book, it's very advanced. Like, he understands setup and payoff and character positioning and subtle body language stuff. He's like, I'm shocked at how good it is. And then just kind of a natural storytelling kind of ability. And yeah, his story, like, he knows exactly where it needs to go. He's kind of humble about it, and I get it. He's like, I don't know, I'm just kind of making this up as I go. And I get it, but like, it sure feels like he knows exactly what he's doing, you know? And there was no exaggeration on my part in that video I did where I was saying, like, I was literally at work laughing with tears in my eyes. I had to take my phone and put it down and sit back in the chair and just, I was heaving from the funny laughter, like, of all that shit with Popo and the Clergs. Oh my God, it's so hilarious. It's so well done. So yeah, he's just a natural at it, you know? He gets it. And that's why I was like so adamant, like, can I make a video of this? People need to see this. This is important. And I think he said, at least in some small way, that my video and my hyping it up and the positive response that it got kind of helped him feel more confident to put the book out there and do a crowdfunder. I'm not trying to take credit for anything, but it's nice to hear that perhaps I had a positive influence on it, because it deserves to be seen. It's so good. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it. And honestly, seeing Mitch being so damn good, it makes me go, I got to step my game up. I mean, I'm going to be putting out my first thing here, and I've got Chuck inking it, so I'm kind of got an additional professional hand on the finishing of it to kind of help guide it. And but I'm doing the next one on my own because Chuck's going to be working on his own stuff. He's got some stuff that he's asked me to like help him do the layouts to his pages, and he's going to pencil and ink and finish and do his own story, which I am all for. So yeah, I'm doing my own stuff here, but seeing what Mitch can do, I'm like, I gotta step my game up. I gotta I got to keep my head held high, or at least I want to be able to keep my head held high, because that man is not playing around. Oh, Sheldon, you found out about him from my video? That's awesome. All right. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. If I can send anybody's way and help a person get their work seen and just kind of spread the love for everybody, right? And that's what we're all here for. We're all just trying to raise each other up. I say it as I'm a guy who shits on certain comics online. But hey, to be fair, I think I only shit on one type of comic. Here I go trying to justify myself with all my nonsense and my own bullshit. Um, you know, and I'll talk about a book that I just personally don't like, but I try to just verbalize it. I'm like, this one's just not for me. It just doesn't interest me, but that doesn't mean it's not good. And some people don't seem to get that concept. Like, I don't have to say everything is amazing. Maybe I can appreciate the art, but the story sucks, or maybe the art sucks. But if I can appreciate that the person doing it was really trying, then all the respect is right there. Like, you tried, even if it's, I don't, doesn't speak to me. It doesn't mean it's not good. It just means I don't like it. It's just me. You love the competition vibe from watching you guys work. Yeah, he pushes me to want to be better. And so does, I mean, a lot of things. Like, a lot of you guys are very complimentary towards me and tell me you're looking forward to this. And so I'm like, well, shit, I better do as good as I can. I don't want to make a thing and have them get it. And they're like, what the hell? Rob, you suck the sweat off a dead man's balls. I'm like, oh, it's a little harsh. Might be true. And then, of course, I spend all this time like micro noodling away on these pages. I'm like, just let it go, dude. Just let it go. You're done. No one will see all these little changes you're making. Micro Noodle can be another character. I've just found I make up all these stupid phrases, and I'm like, there's something to hold on to. That could be a name or a phrase or a joke or a gag. Just have to listen, right? Well, I think I'm going to bag it for the night, guys. I think I've gone as far as I'm going to go. I actually didn't think I'd hit the 2-hour mark, but here we are. But I got 2 pages mostly roughly penciled in. I can do some light boxing tomorrow. I got to check with Jessica. We were supposed to do our live chat stream, me and Jessica, tomorrow for the kind of 1 week late, 3 year, Rob on YouTube for 3 years thing. I got to hit her up and see if we're still doing that. Yeah, Sheldon, I did him a while ago, and then I've set him aside and kind of haven't touched him again because I wasn't sure if I liked him. It's still up in the air, but as always, we'll see. Maybe they'll get used. I got to see what's going on. I kind of make these comics, I don't know, kind of organically. I don't have like a rigid set. This is exactly page 1, panel 1. It's kind of like, here's the scenes, and I'm just kind of drawing the scenes, and then I kind of add to them as I go, depending on what I think is needed or not needed. So, as opposed to the He-Man comic, which was much more structured. I'm pretty sure she said Tuesday. I need to double check that. Because I have my kids on Wednesday, and I don't know. Now you got me wondering. Maybe I misheard. I'll find out. I'll post it on the Discord. Now you got me wondering. Make a parody of Lobo and call him Nomo. How about a parody of Lobo and call it No Homo? I don't know why. It just rhymes. Anyway, guys, I'm going to bounce. Oh, did she leave a message on Discord? I didn't even know she did that. Son of a bitch. All right. Well, then I guess that's what we're doing. All right. All right. Well, thanks, Sheldon. I had my head up my ass. So, Wednesday it is. All right, guys. You're all awesome. Appreciate you all very, very much, guys. You're all a bunch of awesome dudes. Thanks for hanging out with little old me. Appreciate it, guys. See you next time.